Hi, everyone. I'm Logan Baldwin. I'm the executive director of Climate Film, and with me I have Joe Murphy Long, the director of Subaru Cult. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your filmmaking background?
This is actually my third career. I started in advertising, marketing, and PR at 23 down in Southern California. And after about 15 years, I had clients all around the world, and I was just driving the freeways of Los Angeles. So I'm like, I got to do what I've always wanted to do. But of course, life always gives you detours. So then I became an author, and that was great and fun. And I reached a lot of people, one book at a time. But after 3 years of promoting my book series, I realized I really want to make movies. So when I moved to Portland in 2015, I also hosted a film festival called Portland Previews for 2 years with a table read the second year. And I met a lot of great filmmakers, actors, music composers, everyone involved in the industry. So that's what launched first JML Films, the name of my company, which stands for my initials, but also Justice, Mercy, and Love. So I write feature films, but during the pandemic, we were filming one film a year just because trying to be safe. So that's when I got on Zoom with all my writers and we started Left Coast Comedy.
Cool. Tell me about Left Coast Comedy then.
Well, the world, during the pandemic was tough for a lot of people. Some of it was a garden party, but other people lost family members and friends. So it was just really rough. So by January 2022, I reached out to a lot of my funny writers and actors and said, do you want to meet on Zoom for like an hour and a half once a week, and we can table read our scripts? So we did. And in 3 months, we wrote 65 scripts. So I was really happy. Yeah, it was really
That's great.
prolific. Yeah, and really funny. We made each other laugh. So it was nice, something to look forward to during the pandemic as it was still lingering on. So then my feature films pulled my attention for the rest of the year. But by Christmas, I'm like, you know what? We have something really great here. So I rallied everyone again in early 2023 and we started filming. So on April Fool's Day on 2023, we launched our YouTube channel. And now we have more than 30 productions done to date, including Subaru Cult. So thank you for acknowledging that in your film festival. We're very excited to be here, to come down and to support the other filmmakers, because I think there's a lot of talent here in the Pacific Northwest. I see it, I work with it. And to get Hollywood's attention, we have to be louder together. So that's my goal. That's what I'm trying to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here too at the Klamath Independent Film Festival. Yeah, it seems like the pandemic, it shut a lot of productions down, but it really got a lot of the writers going. Everybody was writing and writing and writing. And though we saw like, production sort of slowed down for a little bit, as soon as things started opening back up again, we're hit harder and harder and harder with all of these amazing films that were written during the pandemic. And we have a record number of films in the film festival this year with us. We have 45 different films, and we
Wow.
also have more feature films than ever before as well. So it's really great to see this huge boom after the pandemic. We're bouncing back. The movie industry is bouncing back.
Yep, I
Fantastic.
agree. I agree. And I actually know some of your feature film people that are coming down. So we're excited that all of us can make the trip down to Klamath Falls and be part of the whole weekend.
Fantastic. What led you to want to make Subaru Cult specifically? What's the inspiration behind Subaru Cult?
Well, Left Coast Comedy modeled itself after Saturday Night Live, back when it was funny and had like series and like that. No swearing, it's my daughter's my benchmark. So we have to make it funny and be creative. So we start with making fun of ourselves. And in the Pacific Northwest, and I also had a Subaru. I don't have one now. We actually share a car, but it's just an easy target. And I actually text our writer, Ali Rauzuli, to find out what was his inspiration. He hasn't gotten back to me yet. Because we did that quite a few productions ago. I said, well, were people knocking on your door selling Bibles? Is this what gave you the idea? Or do you just hate Fords and love Subarus? Do you own a Subaru? What sparked this idea? And I have not heard back from him yet. So we're going to have to corner him at the festival and find out why and what. If
Fantastic.
I find out sooner, I'll text you. Um, but when we get together on Zoom to write these 1 to 4 page scripts, so we have to be really economic with our words and creative at the same time, and then with the props and wardrobe and location, all to build that story, and even the music. Stephen Kobich came in and wrote the music that scored all of this. And then finding Subaru owners that would be willing to come on a Saturday morning and park their cars out front, and so we're making fun of ourselves up here because there's a lot of Subarus.
Totally, totally. I'm brand new to the Pacific Northwest. I'm from Tennessee. I've been here for a year now, just over a year at the time of the festival. And I didn't really know anything about it. And then I saw this and I started asking around, and people were like, oh yeah, Subarus everywhere, four-wheel drive, everything. Yeah, Subarus everywhere, everything.
Well, it's kind of like, I hate to say it, but it is like a cult because you can get badges if you so many Subarus, and I mean there's award, like almost like the Girl Scout Boy Scout award achievement badge. So when Ollie found out about that, he's like, oh, I got to put this in. So we kept it. The story gets developed as we read it, and then as I write it as a shooting script, and then when we shoot it with the actors, and then even when we edit it. So Galen Mahoney edited. So every time we keep moving it forward, it keeps hopefully getting better. So we were very happy with it. It was really funny to shoot. And I'm still filming with Scott Bernard Nelson and Tracy Hugo. One lives in Washington, the other one lives in McMinnville. But Ruzi, our comedian, actually moved to Houston. So we're sorry to lose him, but maybe he'll be back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced while making Subaru Cult? It's a pretty simple setup there. Did you have anything go wrong? Did you have anything go really, really right?
Well, my daughter had a baby that night. So I texted everybody and said, she's still in labor. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on set to direct, but everything's ready to go at 6 a.m. So just do it. You guys know what to do. You have all the paperwork. I really pre-plan everything. So just shoot it, because I don't want to cancel this because I can't be there. So, but she had the baby. So she had the baby like at 2 a.m. So I showed up at 6 a.m. They're like, oh, she made it. So that was the first challenge because it was like, I need to be there for my daughter, but if she doesn't need me, then I'm going to go on set. So that was the first one. But then we filmed in a very small community in Tigard, and it's all townhouses, and they have an HOA. So,
oh yeah, I noticed that at the end of the credits there, you said no thanks to HOAs or what.
Well, the homeowner who allowed us to film there, I said, can you please check with all your neighbors? Because I know parking is a premium, and let them know we'll be parking Subarus out front legally, not in front of the fire hydrant, not in front of their driveways, but we will be parking there because that's part of the joke, that there's Subarus everywhere in this neighborhood. And he's like, oh, yeah, no worries, I got it. Well, we're just starting the film, and we're trying to get out before, I try to do these relatively quickly. We don't shoot for 10, 14 hours. We do them in 6 hours, 7 hours max, if we include lunch. So we're 2 hours in the filming, and here comes an angry neighbor. I'm calling the HOA. You block it. And we're not blocking anything. You're blocking the streets, and this is unacceptable. And you always do this. And I'm looking at the homeowner, and he's just straight, shrugs his shoulder and went in the house. I'm like, no help. So we had to move the cars and then had to come back and shoot that first scene that you see at the start later. But, that's part of being a filmmaker. You do have challenges and some things you have to hit on the fly and just make it work. So we still made it work. We cleared the street. There was no cars. We just stayed in the front yard, which you saw was a tight, kind of contained set. We had the poor sound guy, Larry McFarland, was on the stairs, and we ran 2 cameras. So he had a camera and he's also running sound. There's only 5 of us on crew, 6 if you count our music composer and our hair and makeup. But really, it's only 4 of us running all of that with 3 actors. So it's a very small cast and crew. But you make it work. And then we pulled the cars back where it was safe and then shot the opening sequence that you see at the start of the skit. Yeah, it's always fun.
I see. Yeah. That's great. I mean, I have plenty of experiences like that too, where somebody's come up and they're upset about something, and you just do what you can to make it, but you still have a job to do, right? So you trying to it's a balancing act. It really is,
Yeah. I love it. I mean, there's always something as much as you plan, there's always going to be something that kind of goes not sideways, but just throws a zinger in it. But we luckily, knock on wood, nobody ever got COVID in the 31 productions we've done because we started filming when we still wore masks on set in January of 2023. And then I guess everything got lifted that summer. But even now, like I'm filming with a friend, there's still people getting COVID. So out of over a cautiousness, I said, let's push the shoot. There's no reason for any of us to get sick. Let's just shoot next Friday. So we've moved it. So again, just trying to be professional, obviously being professional and being safe, and then still have a good time while we're doing it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. That's awesome. And filmmaking is problem solving, isn't it? You're always trying to make something happen, right?
Yeah.
You have said that you emphasize using green practices on your film sets. Can you share some specific examples of how you ensured that Subaru Cult was produced sustainably, or just any practices that for any across all of your productions?
Yeah, so I do that with JML Films and then Left Coast Comedy. So on every single call sheet, and obviously when I sit down and meet a new actor or a new crew person, I tell them that we write green scripts. So if we have someone like we wrote dentist jokes and there's bags and people are shopping in a grocery store and they had plastic bags, and I'm like, no, 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 we're going to bring canvas bags. So just illustrating through our work that you can be green. Everyone can be green. We carpool whenever we can. I help arrange that. So if we're going to McMinnville to film in the radio studio at Linfield University, we carpool down there. Everyone knows by now they have to bring their own reusable coffee cup, whether they want tea, hot chocolate. So that's a given because otherwise you just have the sea of plastic bottles and coffee cups. And so they all bring their own bottles. And then they also bring water bottles and coffee cups. So that, and then when we order food, I'm actually vegetarian going vegan or organic and non-GMO. So it does make our food costs go up, but I buy craft services that are organic and all of those other labels that are on there, the healthy foods. And then also with lunch, I try to support the local businesses, and I don't go to Costco. I don't go and load up. I go and talk to the local Mexican restaurant or Thai restaurant, Chinese, sushi, whatever. And then everyone orders off the menu because we're small. I think the smallest shoot we did was 4 people, and the largest one we did was My Ukraine, a music video parody based on Prince's Purple Rain. Remember Prince, iconic song? Well, we changed the lyrics to My Ukraine instead of Purple Rain. And that was 62 people over 2.5 days. So that was like our big finale last year. And it just came out. 5 editors were working on it. So it took quite a while to get that done, but I'm very happy with that. But again, feeding and watering all those people, I still instill the same practices. And then I also try to keep equal number of men and women in front of the camera and behind it. So if one skit's 4 women, then the next skit might be 3 guys, and just trying to keep the numbers equal, and also trying to be diversified here, which is hard because, we're kind of white bread, white milk, white, it's like Pennsylvania where I'm from. So we try, like Ali's Persian and Ruzi's Persian, and Nadir Nightingale is a beautiful African-American man. So we try to bring everybody in so they can be represented. And I encourage them to write too, because I only write what I know. So that's what we're trying to do with Left Coast Comedy, keep people
Yeah.
smiling and laughing out loud at themselves, and, in a harmless way. We're not mean.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. That's really, really admirable. I admire that a lot. What is next for you as a filmmaker and for Left Coast Comedy in general? What's next?
Well, we're trying to monetize on YouTube. So we have, last check, I think we're just shy of 600 subscribers. We need 1,000, and we need 4,000 viewing hours. So and we have like 3 productions coming out of post. So we'll have 31 productions up by the end of summer. So if we can get everyone watching, and we need both numbers to hit, then because you'll see ads on our channel, but we're not getting paid at all. So once I hit that, then I can at least pay everybody gas money to show up, because we're an all volunteer creative collaboration. So I have over 200 people I'm working with from, before and behind in front of the camera, and then music composers. So it's amazing that people have stepped up and said, yeah, I want to help. I want to be a part of this. And I keep meeting new people all the time. And we do that. I also do workshops now. I started that this summer because tuition is only $25 and it's a 2-hour session. So you're meeting with the DP that's actually working in the industry. You're meeting with a marketing person who can help you market yourself no matter where you are on the budget line. We have an actor workshop coming up in August. Every month we host that. And that money goes back into Left Coast Comedy to feed and water and buy incidentals. So we will keep moving forward to get monetized in YouTube. And then the next step is to either have one of our series. We have 5 different, I think 5 to 7. I lost count. Alexa, Divine Delivery, Bad Guests, etc. That there's several series for each one. So I would love if LA, I'm trying to get their attention. They'll be like, you know what, we need to do Bad Guests. We'll come up. Let's produce a TV show. So if we can launch a TV show from Left Coast Comedy, that'd be amazing. I would ultimately like them to pick up Left Coast Comedy and run it like the Saturday Night Live out here. Whether we do it live in front of an audience or if I just send out 5 teams and we make an hour program every week for 8 weeks for season 1, whatever they want, we can do. But we need to be financed and distributed by, someone bigger than YouTube. So that's the goal. And we're still relatively a startup. We only launched, like I said, April Fool's Day last year, and now it's almost August, but in good time.
Sure. Well, you've got one more subscriber out of me just now, and I hope with this Q&A and you plugging it like that, you'll get a sea of more subscribers.
Thank you.
Jill, do you have any more final words before we sign off here?
I just hope everyone enjoys the film festival. I can't wait. I love watching not only my movies, but other people's movies that were made, independently with an audience, because that's why we do it. It's really fun.
That's exactly right. Well, thank you, Jill Murphy-Long, for submitting your film to the Klamath Independent Film Festival. Subaru Cult will be available on Eventive for a limited time as part of our online showcase, and you can also see Left Coast Comedy on YouTube.